Welcome to this week's video presentation. In play number 1, we are going to have a good call by the linesman on a 4th down scrimmage kick play. And the kicking team is actually going to have 5 players in the backfield. This angle, it's a little hard to see, but we will have an end zone view that you will be able to identify that there are 5 players in the backfield. Officials, we must remember to apply this rule correctly. When we have a foul by K on a kick play, the receiving team, one of their options is to have the penalty assessed from the dead ball spot. Do not let a coach decline this penalty, even though they may not want to replay 4th down by accepting and having a replay from the previous spot. Remember, one of the options is they can add the distance penalty on from the end of the kick. When we are in a 5, 6, or 7 person officiating crew, somebody needs to step up, save the crew, so this rule can be applied correctly. You may not even talk to the receiving team coach. He's probably going to be saying we want to decline the penalty, take the result of the play, and this is where you just say, Coach, you want to accept the penalty because we're going to add 5 yards on to the end of the kick for you. Here's the view where you can clearly see 5 players in the backfield. The ball is going to be snapped at the 10-yard line. We've got a couple people lined up back on the 8, and then a couple more even lined back further than that, along with the punter. So making sure that we know the rules and applying them correctly is very important, as that is what our job is and what we get paid to do. In play number 2, we are going to look at the mechanics of the linesman. First off, we want the wing officials, both the short wings and the deep wings, to start every play on the sideline. We do not want you starting in the field of play. Now, other states may require you to do that, and when working in those states, then you need to do it the way that state wants it done. In West Virginia, we want the short wings and the deep wings to start every play on the sideline and then adjust from there. Here we're going to have the snap, and it appears to be at the 5-yard line or barely outside of. Remember, if the snap's inside the 5, short wings go to the goal line immediately on the snap. Between the 5 and the 10, you do not have to go immediately, but you want to beat the runner to the goal line if the goal line is threatened. So the mechanics here with the linesman needs a lot of work, as he needs to be on the goal line pylon when the runner crosses the goal line. Good job by the field judge and side judge. Since we are inside the 7, they are starting on the back corner pylons. If you have to go run backward as a wing official, then you are starting in way too close. In play number 3, we are going to have a good pickup by the umpire here on a chop block. Remember, the definition of a chop block is a combination block by 2 or more teammates against an opponent, with or without delay, where one of the blocks is below the waist and one of the blocks is above the waist. So if we watch this play here, you're going to see the one offensive lineman go low while the other offensive lineman makes contact above the waist. So this is a nice pickup by the umpire here. As this goes in slow motion, you're going to see the one block low and the other block be above the waist. Nice job here by the officiating crew. In play number 4, we're going to have a pass play that will be going toward the linesman and the side judge's side of the field. And this is just a play for discussion, as we do not have the best camera angle here, but the officiating crew calls defensive pass interference here. And by the rule book, this would be defensive pass interference as the defender made contact on the receiver. It's hard to tell if he made it early or not. But one thing you may want to think about, and we don't have catchable or uncatchable in high school football, but we have to ask ourselves, did the defender really obstruct the receiver's path to catch the football on a scenario and a play like this? Once again, the officials may have had a better angle and the contact may have occurred while the ball was there, and he definitely obstructed the receiver's opportunity to catch it. But this is just something to discuss, because it appears that the receiver was no way going to be able to catch this ball, as it was well over his head and was not going to be able to come down in bounds. So it's just a good play for discussion, is does this really warrant, if the contact was indeed early, slightly early, is this defensive pass interference, or would this be a defensive pass interference potential that may have been good to pass on? So just something to discuss in your local association meetings. In play number 5, we want to look at the mechanics of the umpire and the line judge. And when we have plays like this across the middle of the field, a lot of times the wing officials will be screened out or blocked out on being able to rule a catch, no catch. And a lot of times the umpire, and they need to be turning once the ball has been thrown, has the best look on a trap ball situation. Now here we're going to have one official giving the stop the clock signal and signaling that there was an interception, while the umpire is going to be looking in and coming in initially with an incomplete pass signal. So when we have plays like this, officials, make sure you make eye contact with each other. Sometimes you may have to get together before we give any type of signal, because when we start giving conflicting signals out on the field, then it's a really, really tough sell to everyone in the stadium on what we actually had on the play. So just a play to learn from, talk about in your pregame on how you handle and would handle a situation like this. In play number 6, and I first want to apologize on the poor video quality, as this video clip came from the coaching staff, and their concern was the choke slam that the offensive lineman is going to put on the defender. And it doesn't appear that this was even flagged being a personal foul. And after watching this play, this should have been ruled a flagrant personal foul, and this offensive lineman in white should have been disqualified for this flagrant personal foul act, as there's no place in high school football for this type of behavior. So even though the video is not very clear, you can clearly see the choke slam act that should have been deemed a flagrant foul. In play number 7, we are going to have a good call by the referee of calling a false start on the running back, as the running back leaves a little early, so he misses the snap count. Remember, in your judgment, if a player misses the snap count, call it a false start. As we know, false starts are dead ball fouls, and we do not let the play become live. It's a very subtle movement by number 20, but he definitely misses the snap count and leaves early. In play number 8, we are going to have a good call by the covering official, calling this a horse collar foul. Remember, if the defender grabs inside the collar or in the nameplate area of the jersey and pulls the ball carrier down backward or sideward to the ground, then it is a personal foul horse collar. And horse collar fouls are enforced as live ball fouls. So learn the definition of a horse collar and then see if this act meets that definition, and it clearly does. In play number 9, we are going to have another good horse collar foul call by the covering officials, as this defender grabs him near the nameplate area of the jersey and pulls the ball carrier down backward and or sideward. In play number 10, we are going to have a nice job here by the linesman recognizing an illegal formation, as the offensive team is going to clearly have 5 players in the backfield, as these 5 players, no part of their head or foot breaks the waistline through the snapper. Now, on plays like this, I would like to see both wing officials be able to recognize this as being a foul, and we have 2 flags down at the snap. This is not a foul by rule until the ball is snapped, because the coaches may realize they're in an illegal formation, and we want to give them time to call a timeout to make the correction, or allow the players to realize it and make the correction themselves. This is why illegal formations do not become a foul until the ball is illegally snapped. Clearly, none of those 5 players' head or foot breaks the waistline of the center. In play number 11, we are going to have what on film appears to be a loss of a down by the officiating crew, as it appears that it goes first down, second down, right to fourth down. So I'm going to let this scenario play out, and you all can watch for yourselves on how the plays progress. First down, we have a completed catch. Down box goes to 2. We have a second down play. Doesn't appear that we have any fouls down here. Now, it does appear that we have a dead ball personal foul, possibly, which would make the next down third down. But as you can see, the down box has went to 4th. Now, let me back this up a little bit. And I want you to watch at how quick the down box man changes the down after the second down play to 3rd. We do not want the down box person changing the down that quickly. We want the down box to change the down on the directive of the linesman. So if the officiating crew looked over and thought it was 3rd down on the previous play and they had a dead ball personal foul, the next down in their mind went to 4th. So what should have happened here was a second down play. A dead ball personal foul, it appears, was called, making the next down should have been 3rd down. So just be very, very careful. Once again, we have 5, 6, 7 officials on varsity football across West Virginia. We have to make sure that we have the downs correct, and we must give the line to gain crew proper instructions prior to the game, as what they do is under our directive. Do not let them change the down early. And if they do, and you see them doing that during the contest, say something to them. Do not change the down until we tell you to do so. It's all about paying attention to the little details. Makes all the difference in the world. I want to thank everyone for watching this week's video presentation. Remember, these presentations are put together so everyone can learn and become better officials. Everybody, no matter what level you are and how many years you have officiated, everybody can always get better. No one will ever officiate a perfect football game. We strive for that, and it would be great if we could achieve it. But that is never going to happen. So make that a goal to try to work a perfect game. And by watching these videos and learning on things that were done well and things that needed to be worked on, this is how we all get better. I want to wish everyone safe travels this week as we are entering the last regular season week of football officiating at the high school level across the state of West Virginia for the regular season. And we will begin postseason play next Friday night. Thanks again for what you do. The game cannot be played without you.